Hey guys, this is Garrett with Cardiac Airsoft. We're going to go do another DIY video for you guys today, staying in the realm of the helmets. I'm here with my buddy Richard, and we're going to his first mil-sim type game this weekend at Wildcat Paintball in Staunton, Illinois. A team rule they have up there is they're going to be doing the green team and tan teams, and kit does not matter, but your uniform color and your headgear color have to match. We are a green team this weekend, and Richard only has a black helmet. So what we're going to do for you today is we're going to go over a cheap and easy way to do a helmet cover and save you guys some bang for your buck. Like I said, he's getting into airsoft, so he's already dropped some money on a gun and some gear, so we're going to try to save him a couple dollars today and hopefully help you guys out too, and set you guys up with a cheap, easy way to do your own helmet cover and not have to worry about spray painting your helmet, going and buying another helmet, or buying those expensive helmet covers. Alright, what we have for this project today is, of course, your helmet, whichever helmet you have. We've got a couple different styles here. These two are mine, and they are actually a different style from each other. This one is Richards, he just bought. The main difference I've seen between the two is, like our DIY video, Richards helmet has the solid foam insert, like the hardened plastic type foam. Not adjustable, but it does have the pads inside. It has the harness, and something like mine does have the adjustable backing, the adjustable harness inside, and also the pads, of course. So what we're going to get into with that is I'm going to try to see if we can do the same thing for both of these and hopefully cover a broader area. And what I'm planning on doing this helmet cover with today is we went and bought a cheap OD green. Like I said, we're going to be green team this weekend, so we went and bought a cheap OD green t-shirt, and we've got some 550 cord. Alright, got a pair of scissors, and hopefully with just these and plus a screwdriver, we're going to take these rails off and see what we can get going. Alright, now the first thing I've done is I've completely disassembled this helmet. I took off the arc rails and the harness, and I took out the foam insert. This is the hard foam insert like I was talking about earlier. Like in our DIY project, this is kind of what our skate helmet had inside, was just this big, thick, hardened piece of styrofoam. It slid out. We took the arc rails off. We took the harness out, like I said. So now we just have our shell. And this is what we're going to be focused on covering. Now, what we have here is we bought this this cheap OD green t-shirt from Walmart. It was $7.50. And the first thing I did, I cut a sleeve out of it. We happen to have a 2XL, so it's a pretty big shirt. We got some massive sleeves on it. None of us are 2X, so went ahead and got it. Now, I think what we can do here is the sleeve itself is going to be able to stretch over the shell of the helmet. Now what I'm hoping for is we're going to stretch this over the top of the helmet, and we're going to run our screws back in on the inside and pull this in tight so it loops around, hugs the entire shell, and then we'll get back to the top. So you don't have this funky looking like mohawk deal on the top of the helmet. We'll tie it back in. Okay, this is what we've got so far. We've got the sleeve of the shirt stretched over the shell of the helmet, as you can see here. Now what I want to do is I want to stretch this just past the base of the helmet, give you a little bit of overhang. So when we go to put our insert back inside, it'll tuck all this away, wrap it in, give it a nice clean look around the shell of the helmet. Now on these back earpieces, these lobes right here, right in here where our ear is going to be, we're going to have to cut this a little bit. That way there's not this much overhang, and it'll fold in real nice. Otherwise it's going to pull the rest of the fabric back across the helmet. It's going to uncover pieces. So what we're going to do is we're going to put just a nice little cut right here to help fold that in. Now we don't want to get too much into it because we don't want to we don't want to have the shirt rip on us and really just take away from the nice clean look we're getting. So we're just going to put a nice little cut here until we can get it to where it's going to fold in like we want it to do. Just like that. So now we have this piece. We've got some fabric hanging over, so we'll be able to tuck it in with the shell. And hanging over the front, shell should, or the insert, I'm sorry, should catch that and tuck all that in. I'm going to do the same thing with this side. And then our next step is we're going to take our the nuts and the screws here that hold in our harness, and we're going to go ahead and put our harness back in on the inside of our fabric. So these holes right here in the front where the harness is going to be, we're going to have enough fabric. We're going to take and cut just a small slit in the fabric to slide the screw through and the nut. That way the bolt itself will hug the harness, or hug the fabric in, and help keep our fabric secure to the shell itself. That way not only is your insert holding, but your harness and your arc rails will also be holding that in. Okay guys, what we have done so far is we've got the fabric stretched across, all the arc rails and everything were off, all the nuts and the screws to hold the harnesses were off, harness was out, and what I've done is we cut some small holes on the overlapping fabric, because these two pieces right here where we made our cut by our ear should fold in enough to go just over the stock holes where the nuts are going to go. So that's a good way to be able to stretch that inside, run your nut through it. The smallest hole is gonna do, because this fabric is going to stretch and really open up. You don't want to make a cut too big and then rip your hole. The entire hole will compromise the fabric, completely rip out, and then you've just got a loose helmet cover. So you can see what we kind of did on this side. I've went ahead and just put my arc rails, got kind of ahead of myself, just so we can hold the fabric in place. Another good idea, because we have been struggling with this fabric sliding around a lot, is maybe get it in place, put some clamps on it. Maybe some like the paper clamps, or some kind of elastic clamp that you have to hold this stuff in place. Because the fabric is stretchy, it wants to fall back down over the helmet. So, like I said, what we've done on this side, we put a small hole in the overlapping fabric and a small hole on the outside, and we've mounted our arc rail back up. You can see that there. Haven't tightened these. I just got them finger tight just for now, in case we do need to move something around. But with this helmet, there's not going to be too much going back into it, just this big styrofoam insert. So what we can do here now is just go ahead and move on. Probably go ahead and tighten these down, but I'm going to leave them loose for right now, just until we make sure. Now, like I said, here's our extra piece of material. We'll get to that as soon as we get these other arc rails in and the harness back, the other side of the harness back in. So once we get that, we'll go ahead and move on to how to secure this loose fabric on top. Okay guys, what I've done is I went ahead and got the other arc rails put back on. I've got I had the fabric stretched over the top, and what I did to pull the top together is, as you can see here, what I did, this is not shot cord, but it is 550 paracord, okay? 550 cord, paracord, whatever you want to call it. What I did is I just kept pulling the top of the sleeve back tight, and I would just put one small cut. I would take my scissors, I would just open them up, and I would just puncture one small cut, bam, bam, into each side. And I started weaving this, and every time I would come to the top, I'd pull the fabric back as tight as I could get it, pop me a couple more holes, weave it through. A couple of these I used twice. Now, one thing I want to say again, what I said in the earlier part of this video, is be careful with this fabric. Once you make a hole, this fabric will tear, and it will tear easy. Okay, so you don't need to actually make a hole, cut it some, just puncture your little hole and stretch it out a little bit. Here towards the back, we've kind of got this opening, and once I've weaved it through, I was constantly pulling this paracord as tight as I could get it. So to give you kind of a look at the back, you can still see the opening in the top of the sleeve here. Now, that is a little bit of a problem. The only thing that I'm worried about, it's going to do its job. It's going to do its job as a cheap, just quick helmet cover. It's going to get Richard in the game Sunday. So that's our main concern. The only thing that I'm worried about is these pulling out from under this paracord. So what I think I'm going to do after this is I might take some thread and thread these together just to hold them in there and make sure they don't flop out. They're sticking up, looking goofy and everything. But you can see this paracord, I've kept it pretty tight. Not a lot of room in there, not a lot of play in it. So, although from losing his Velcros, I feel like this is going to be a pretty decent quick fix just to get him on the field Sunday. So, to you guys out there who are worried about, well, I don't have the brand name gear, I don't have this, I'm not spending hundreds upon hundreds and hundreds of dollars. This is all it needs. Just get out on the field and play. That is the most important thing you can do, is just get out and have fun. Alright, at the end of the day, we're all playing a game, and we want to have fun. So, I hope this helped you guys, and I hope to see some of your feedback. We had a lot of feedback on our DIY tack helmet video. I would love to see some more feedback on that. If you guys got any questions, if you have any comments, any concerns, anything we can do to improve, let us know. Let us know what you want to see. Tell us if this worked for you, if you did it and it worked for you. If you've done your own, let us know that too. So run over to Facebook and check us out on Facebook at Cardiac Airsoft. We post quite a bit up there. Our sister site is Cardiac Tactical. That is also our YouTube name, but Cardiac Tactical is strictly Real Steel on our Facebook. Our co-founder and co-captain Wyatt is running the Cardiac Tactical Real Steel side. He's currently just got done with NRA instructor course, so he is a firearms instructor now. Been putting up a lot of really cool videos, so go and check that page out. Thanks guys, and hope to see you next time. Hope to see you on the field, and hopefully we'll get some more videos your way soon.